Good day, everyone. For our lesson today, um, it's about mensuration and basic calculation. And these are the objectives that we have to be able to do at the end of the lesson. Number one, estimate the quantity of materials and resources required to complete a task. Determine correct methods of calculation. And the third, ascertain systems and units of measurements to be followed. So, to give you an overview of the first objective, as farmers, we need to know the quantity of inputs like the fertilizers, the seeds, the pesticides that we will be putting to our field in order to know during harvest if we gained or if we incurred a loss. And second, determine correct methods of calculation. Um, these are just the four basic mathematical operations, which are addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. And the third objective, ascertain systems and units of measurements to be followed. We have only two units or two systems of measurement. We have the English system and the metric system. Okay, so let's proceed to our lesson review. So of course, last time we tackled about the different tools in in a farm, and examples of them are bolo, axe, wheelbarrow, sprayers, water pails, sickles, so on and so forth. And the farm implements, these are materials that are being pulled by an animal or by farm machineries. So examples of the farm implements are wooden harrow, the disc plow, the native plow, the rotavator, like that. So those are examples of the farm implements. And the farm machineries, these are machineries that makes our work as farmers easier and more effective and more efficient. So examples of machineries are water pumps, grass cutter, the hand tractor, and the four-wheeled tractor. So these are the farm machineries that are usually used in farming, and also the rice harvester and the drone. So this article, I copied it from Facebook, so credit to the owner. And it talks about the issue last year, which is about the price of rice, wherein um, it reduced by 5 to 7 pesos per kilogram. So I would like to read the article. Rice fields are turning gold in weeks from now. Harvesting season will start in Isabela, but unlike last year, you don't see from the farmer's eyes the excitement of reaping the fruit of 4 months of hard labor. Excitement turned into worry, worrying of just breaking even or even selling the harvest at a loss. Farmers have all the reasons to worry, for the farm gate price of fresh palay is currently at 12 to 14 pesos per kilogram compared to 19 to 21 pesos per kilogram same season last year. Here are some interesting numbers. The average cost and average yield per hectare during this season are 40,000 pesos. So 40,000 pesos is the average cost of producing 5,000 kilograms of palay, and the average harvest is 5,000 kilograms of palay, respectively. At 12 pesos per kilogram, it will give a net income of 20,000 pesos per hectare, meaning the 20,000 is the net income, because 5,000 times 12, that will give you a 60,000. But you have to deduct from it your expenses during the the land preparation, the inputs like fertilizers, and all your expenses for producing 5,000 kilograms, and that is 40,000. So the net income is 20,000 pesos. So if you compare it to the previous prices, it is 55,000 pesos. Same season last year. That is roughly 65% loss of income. 20,000 pesos income translates to 3,333 pesos of monthly income, and that amount of money is surely not enough to have a decent living for a farmer who only owns 1 or 2 hectares of farm. It is ironic that farmers are the ones feeding the nation, yet they cannot feed themselves. So, um, this is the issue last year because of the price of rice. Because if you have 1 hectare of rice and you will, the average harvest is 5,000 kilograms, and the average cost in order for you to produce that 5,000 kilograms is 40,000 pesos. So if you sold the 5,000 kilograms, it will give you a yield of 60,000 pesos minus the cost of production, which is 40,000. So you only earned um, 20,000 per hectare. So that is why the farmers are were asking the government, or particularly the congressmen or senators, to have a minimum price for the rice. Okay? So how do you know if the farmers has earned or incurred loss in their farming business? So just deduct the 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 price of the 5,000 kilograms to your um, capital, or to your expenses. And if your expenses is equal to your to the price of rice, then that's break even. When we say break even, you did not incur loss and you did not also gain any income. So your capital just returned. That's break even. But you earned, if you have a net income, if after removing the, or after deducting the expenses, whatever left, that is your net income. If you incurred loss, if the price of your produce is lower than your expenses. So the average expense is 40,000. If the price of your rice is only 25,000, then you lost 15,000 during that cropping season. So that is how the farmers feel, or that's how the farmers do their job. Okay, for our IFBL, it says in Genesis 10 verse 25, and unto Eber were born 2 sons. The name of the one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. So what's the relationship of this verse to our lesson today? Remember that our lesson is about measurement and calculation. So it is impossible for the people during this period of Earth's history to divide the earth among themselves if they don't know how to compute or how to measure the earth. So according to the book that I have read, during their times the earth was already measured, meaning they already learned how to measure the earth, how to measure the, perhaps the area, or they learned geometry already, because geometry is the measure of the earth, or the study of measuring in the earth. Okay, so it's important also that we learn how to measure our farm lot today. Okay, so computing the area of different shapes of land. So these are the formula that you have to follow, or to follow if you want to know the area of a certain shape of land. Okay, so for example, square, the formula is side square or side times side. Rectangle, the area is length times width. Triangle, 1 half times base times height or 0.5 times base times height. Trapezoid, 1 half times base 1 plus base 2 times height. So you add first the base 1 and base 2, then you multiply to height and multiply to 1 half. Parallelogram or rhombus, just multiply the base and height. In circle, we have two formula here. If the given is a radius, the formula is pi r squared. But if the formula or the given is a diameter, pi divided by 4 times diameter squared. Okay, or area is equivalent to circumference squared divided by 4 pi if using a circumference. Okay, so these are examples that we will try to compute. So of course, if it is a square, the sides are equal. So there is only one side which is given. So here is 5 meters. So based on the formula of the area of a square, area is equivalent to side squared or side times side. So 5 meters, 5 meters times 5 meters, which will give us 5 times 5 is 25, and then meter squared. When you're going to multiply variables like m times m, uh, you add their exponent, which is, although you do not see an exponent of the variables, but there is a one exponent, automatic or constant. Okay, if there is no exponent written on the variable, there is a constant one exponent of each. So 1 plus 1, so 2. That's why the unit measurement is 25 meter squared or square meter. So next, let's move to the rectangle. And in a rectangle, the area is length times width. So the given here is 20 meters length, and then the width is 10 meters. So just multiply 10 meters or 20 meters times 10 meters, which will give us an area of 200 square meters. Next is triangle. So the area of a triangle is 0.5 or 1 half times base times height. So if our height here is 5 meter, and then the base is 30 meters or 12 meters, I mean, so just multiply 5 meters or 0.5 times 12 meters times 5 meters. 12 times 5 meters is 60 meters squared, times 0.5 will give us a 30 meters squared area if the shape is a triangle. How about if it's a trapezoid? So in a trapezoid, we are going to, the formula is area is equivalent to 1 half or 0.5 times b1 plus b2 or base 1 plus base 2 times height. So that's the formula. So our base here, base 1 here is 9 meters. Our base 2 is 12 meters. And the height is 7 meters. So we have to add first the base 1 plus base 2, which is 9 meters plus 12 meters. So that is, it will give us 21 meters. And then after getting the answer, or after getting 21 meters, then we have to multiply 5 meters, I'm sorry, 0.5 or 1 half times 21 meters times 7 meters. So it will give us an answer of 73.5 meter squared. I hope that's clear. Next is parallelogram or rhombus. So based on the formula, if the shape of the land is a rhombus or parallelogram, just multiply the base times height. So for example, our base is 15 feet and our height is 15 feet. Then just multiply 15 times 15 feet. So it will give us 225 feet squared. So whenever we are computing for the area, the unit measurement is always in squared. Whatever that unit is, it could be centimeter, meter, kilometer, hectometer, feet, yard, mile, so on and so forth. Make sure that when you're computing for the area, it is always expressed in uh, unit squared. Okay, so circle the area of a circle using radius. So there, the if the area or the for the given is a radius, the area is equivalent to pi r squared. Okay, so pi r squared. So the value of pi is constant, which is 3.1416. So wherever you go or whatever happens, the value of pi never changes. It is constant. So they say that in this world, everything changes and only the word change doesn't change. But um, according to our lesson, or yeah, according to our lesson, the value of pi doesn't change also. It remains 3.1416. Okay? And then, so 3.1416 times the radius, which is 32 meters squared. So 32 meters times 32 meters, it will give us 3,217 meters squared. Next, how if the given is in diameter? So the formula is area is equivalent to pi divided by 4 times diameter squared. So still the value of pi is 3.1416 divided by 4. It will give us 0.7854 times diameter squared, that is 64 meters. 64 times 64 times 0.7854 equals 3,217 meter squared. So if you have any question or clarification, you may PM me. So you may also do the quiz now, which is in our Google Classroom. So thank you for listening, and I hope you understand our lesson. If you have any clarification or question, just message me in my messenger. My name is in messenger is James Acevedo. Thank you for listening and have a good day.